A ghost's unfulfilled wish. Chapter 30. Narayan interrupted saying that he had no issues with them joining us, so John told them where exactly he is. That's quite close by. We will reach in 10, Charles said. Tell me, John, what actually happened on the trip? Questioned an eager Narayan. Before John could say anything, Narayan received a call from a client. Oh God, John the first totally forgot about this client call. Give me 10 minutes. I'll be right back, and walk out. John took a beer bottle in his hand. He was too much into Rosalind's thoughts. He couldn't take the pain of losing her in his life. He gulped the entire bottle. After 10 minutes, Sandeep and Charles walked into the pub. They searched for John, and they found him chugging the beer. Charles came and pulled the bottle away from his hand and yelled, "Why are you drinking like this, John? What's wrong with you? Dude, I'm unable to forget her." "Give me the bottle," he said. Sandeep intervened. "How many bottles did you drink, John? Where is your manager?" Without answering, John tried to pull the bottle from Charles' hand. "No, John, I will not give it to you," Charles commanded sternly. "What will you tell Jency?" "I just drank 3 bottles, dude." "No big deal," replied John. Narayan walked in and introduced himself to Sandeep and Charles. They all sat down. Sandeep and Charles didn't want to booze as they were more concerned about John. Before Narayan could ask for it, John continued, "Do you know, Narayan, how happy I was during this NCC camp?" Flashback. "I couldn't sleep the previous night. The excitement of going to the trip was overwhelming, especially since Rosalind would be coming along. The next morning I reached early and was waiting for Rosalind. I saw her coming with her friends. I hid behind the bus. I was curious to know whether she would search for me, and she did. As she got into the bus, she inquired to Sandeep about me. I was really happy. I slowly got into the bus and casually spoke to her. Throughout the journey, my eyes were locked only on Rosalind. Everything else was just a blur. We reached the village by evening. Arrangements were made by the villagers for our stay, and our lecturer spoke to the head of the village and got permission for our camp. That evening we spent time just going around the village and admiring nature. It was night. We decided to have a campfire. I was chatting with my friends and I saw Rosalind and her friends walking toward us. As she came, joined us for the campfire. Aileen asked everyone around, "Can anyone sing here?" Rosalind's friends said Rosalind can sing beautifully. Rosalind was a little hesitant, but she started singing for her friends. Her voice was mesmerizing. It was as sweet as honey. The next morning we all woke up early as the purpose of our trip started from then. It was 10 days trip. Myself, Sandeep, Rosalind, and 2 other girls were in charge of cleaning the school and teaching the children. I was responsible for segregating work to the campers, and I made sure Rosalind was not dumped with much work. I started spending more time with her. I got to know more about her. I would ask her to sing a song and she would sing "Jaane Dil Mein Abuse Hai Tu." We completed 8 days, and on the 9th day, in the evening, I was chatting with my friends when I saw Rosalind sitting with hers around 5 feet far away from us. Though I was with my buddies, my mind and eyes were on Rosalind. A guy who is my junior and Rosalind's classmate came to her with a rose in his hand. I'm sure he was there to propose to her. I tensed up when Rosalind took that rose from his hand, and that evening was the longest in my life. I couldn't eat. I was completely down. Sandeep took me for a walk and asked, "What's wrong? Why do you look so depressed? Did you see that? Pradeep proposed to Rosalind and she even took the rose from him," I replied. "And why is that bothering you? She is just a friend to you, isn't she? You act as though you are in love with her," he said. I lost it. Yes, I am in love with her. I am in love with her. I feel jealous when she is talking to other boys. My heart wishes to stay with her always. Then why delay? Stop acting and tell her how you feel about her, said Sandeep. I am scared, man. What if she rejects me, Sandeep? Who will say no to you? He asked. After the conversation, I decided to tell her how much I love her. I spent my entire night imagining and practicing how to propose to her. Early morning around 4:30 I walked out of the house and I saw Roslyn sitting alone. I was shocked to see her there at that time. What are you doing here? Why are you up so early? I questioned. She said I couldn't sleep the whole night. What about you? Why are you up so early? She asked. I shrugged my shoulders and said I couldn't sleep either. She spoke nothing. I sat beside her and asked, I saw Pradeep proposing to you last evening. She laughed out loud. I gave a blank look. She looked at me. Oh, did you see that? I nodded my head. She said that rose wasn't for me, it was for Riona. What? Riona? She said, yes, he was too scared to go propose to her, and he asked me to talk to her on his behalf. Riona isn't the one with those beautiful blue eyes? I have mistaken her for you a lot of times. Oh yeah? Roslyn stared at me. I said, yes, with that long hair I often get confused if it was you or her, and her eyes are really beautiful. For the first time ever I felt Roslyn was feeling jealous. She stood up saying, I am feeling sleepy, will see you later, and walked away. I smiled to myself. This conversation with her made me realize she likes me too. I came back to bed and slept peacefully. Next morning, the minute I woke up, I updated Sandeep about my conversation with Roslyn. He suggested to often talk to Roslyn about Riona and see how she responds. While having a breakfast, I sat beside Roslyn and asked, did Riona accept Pradeep's proposal? Roslyn looked deep into my eyes and in a very sarcastic way, she replied, it looks like you are more concerned than Pradeep. Her jealousy was clearly visible. In a steady voice I asked, just answer my question. Riona's reply was no, because she is in love with someone else. What? Who is that lucky guy? I questioned. I am not that close to her to know all that, John. Who knows, it can even be you, she said. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.